That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Welcome to The New Next, a podcast that addresses current events and how they will impact the future. Why would people take such a low salary? Or is that the question? Or maybe you should ask your question again, because you're like, why would people take $50 a day to be in a...
Well, it just kind of like, it blows my mind that so many people do that, basically. So it just...
What's the part that blows your mind, though?
That they'll like move to Los Angeles for their big break when they're making $25, $50 a day if they're lucky, and then going to unlimited casting calls. I don't know, maybe you get like the amount of money that your ordinary actors and actresses make on an hourly basis, it doesn't seem, well, first off, legal, because don't they have a minimum wage in California that's $12 or $15 an hour? And except for probably an exemption for this.
So there's not an exemption. Looking up labor laws for a completely different reason. I spent about 20 hours studying labor laws about 3 or 4 months ago for a completely different reason.
Yeah, I remember
that. Outside of employees for religious organizations, you're right, no salary or hourly wage can be under a certain amount of money. Like, there's a minimum limit. However, movies and TV shows get to call this independent contracting, and so they're
a day rate.
And yeah, and they're also saying, like, we're not telling you can't be in other movies or TV shows, which is what separates it from professional wrestling, by the way. Because professional wrestling, especially the WWE, they actually have they call their employees independent contractors, but they're not allowed to wrestle for other promotions, which is something that didn't happen until 1984. Like, wrestlers would always wrestle cross promotions because it was about, that was how they made their money.
Yeah.
Just an interesting side note, but yeah, they're independent contractors. So if I were to go, like when Tulsa King was filming in Oklahoma and they're asking for people for, they might be like, hey, we're going to do it for a week or whatever at a time, but we're going to pay you this much money, but we're also going to provide food and stuff. It'd be under an independent contract. So whenever I get my W-2s and stuff, it'd be filled out a little bit like a 1099 as opposed to just a typical thing. So kind of like what you do, but just at a much smaller scale. But I mean, it's the same reason why would people put their bodies through all this physical torture in high school, just so they have a chance to play college athletics. And then they do it in college for the chance to be in the pros. And I mean, I know the NIL and stuff is now there, but the chances of getting to play for a professional sports team is so small.
I think that's true. They do it for the love of it.
Well, they do it for the love, but I mean, the thing is what if you get in it? Like, if you make it? And the sports teams specifically, like, they shame people who are Rhodes Scholars. Like, they're like, well, you're just not committed enough to the game. and then I'm looking at the Rhodes Scholars like, no, I'm smart enough to realize that the chances of me getting through more than 4 years without getting injured, getting a big contract, are slim. So I just want to have my backup option. But we vilify those people. I said the sports teams and sport leagues and stuff, especially football. But like, there's a basketball player who annoys a lot of people named Patrick Beverly, who made a statement last year after he got cut or traded, and he's like, you realize I'm one of only 3,488 people who have ever played NBA basketball. And then it's like, oh my goodness, the NBA's been around for 80 years.
Yeah, that's so
little. He's right. There's only been like 4,000 people ever played, not even 4,000 people that played NBA basketball. And then it's
Yeah.
like there's more than 4,000 people in college playing basketball this year alone. That those kind of numbers are crazy, but it's the entertainers. It's the entertainment. It's the idea of being a star pulls a lot of people to want to do stupid stuff. I mean, I'm doing a project later this month where, in fact, that's where my hair is specifically this way. It's modeled after Zangief from Street Fighter 2.
Oh, nice.
And it's not. I've got it kind of a little bit more tame for work and stuff, but I'm in a project mostly for a friend, not because I have any interest. And we're going through some of this stuff of what people who do this for a living or want to do this for a living do. And in fact, I mean, the guy I'm working with, he's directed stuff. He found it was cheaper to live in Oklahoma at a big house and fly to California often than it is to live in California.
Yeah.
But like all the people that are involved in this, like at the highest level, they've been doing this for years and they make money. I mean, they've broken in. They're not named people. Like you wouldn't know who these people are right now. Maybe this will be their project or whatever, but I already know I'm taking off work to do this because I'm doing it because the dude's been really cool to me. He's a friend. I'm not doing it because I'm trying to get money out of this because I'm not getting paid.
Yeah.
And I know that but they're looking at it like this will be a submission hopefully to a film festival, and then at the film festival they're hoping someone's like, we love this idea, we want to pay you guys to go from a 20-minute film to being like a 2-hour film or something, and this will be one of the base scenes, and I wouldn't be involved in the project after that. It's just mostly trying to get a concept film to get money to pay for a full-on feature film kind of thing. And when I say feature film, I'm not even talking about what you see in the theater, just hoping that maybe one of the streaming networks pick it up or something like that. I'm
totally
guessing. I don't know all the details on that, and it's probably better I don't.
Yeah.
And that's me doing it because of my friend. But there's people, just that alone, there was someone who gave me really evil eyes when my friend, the director, was like, yeah, I think you would be great in this role for a 6'8", 400-pound guy with a missing tooth. Like, I think you would be great in that role. And there's this little lady who's 5'4", skinnier than anything, has all her teeth. And she was upset because they're just giving you a role and you're not even interested in being an actor. And I've been in this and I've been in that and I've studied this much theater and I've done this. And I'm like, you can have it. Like, the only reason why I'm doing this at all is because it's my friend asking. And he's
That's
been cool
very
to me, I've
interesting.
been cool to him. And then one of my other friends who's also in acting, he's like, she should know better. Like, she understands more than anything. But it's sick. Like, it's sick. If you go to actor, like to agents' websites, and they have all their list of people. So, I mean, this is almost AI, like the problems of AI. You can go, and if you look at females specifically, it will have their bust size.
Yeah.
And that's weird to me. Like, I don't know if it's weird to you, but like,
I think it's weird.
you don't think it's weird?
No, I think it's weird.
Oh, okay. Sorry, misheard you. I was like, I think there's some that even have like their waist size, their butt size, like, and
I can understand it for high fashion modeling because you're looking for people that fit in your clothes.
Mm-hmm.
But for, I mean, unless they're trying to be super frugal and use all their old costumes, it just doesn't really. It sounds pretty scandalous to me.
Yeah. And I'm seeing this, and I mentioned it to the lady that actually got upset at me. This, of course, this was before I was cast for this role or whatever. And she's like, well, this is just what it takes to get to the next level. And then I was talking to the project I'm in, the co-director, and then the star female are twin sisters. And I'm supposed to be this bad guy in this short movie, and I don't know what details I'm allowed to share, so I'll just say I'm a bad guy. And there's a scene where I'm in with the leading lady, and and we're just talking through it. We're not even acting yet or anything. And I'm like, yeah, is it going to be okay if I put my hand on your shoulder in this kind of way? Like, I don't want to. And she's like, yeah, like that's what the role calls for. I'm like, okay, well, it just seems like creepy if I were to do that in real life to a female. Like, and then both of them were like, oh, I guess we've been doing this in Hollywood and stuff for so long now that we don't even think of it like as anything negative.
Everything's creepy.
Yeah. And then my mind starts going back to the whole Me Too stuff. And I know that's not necessarily what we're talking about, but it's like, if the expectation is that people are going to grope you and they're going to measure you and they're going to look at you like you're cattle, then of course they're not causing a lot of problems. Like, that's why Me Too is such a, which from my understanding is it's only a little bit better now than it was then. But I mean, when kids are getting groped and stuff,
that's crazy,
coming into acting, and then that's the only world they know. And then they're threatened with their lives if they speak out about it. You know, I mean, it's dark, and it's why, like, and I don't want to just limit it to that world. Like, the sports world's the same thing, and you can look up Deshaun Watson's case of how creepy these athletes can be. Even though it happens with bankers, it happens with other stuff, it doesn't get the same kind of news as movies and sports and stuff do. If you would like to learn more about the New Next podcast, find us at thenewnextpodcast.com, where you can suggest a topic you would like for us to cover. If you enjoyed what you heard, share the podcast, tell a friend about it, or rate us with 5 stars.